Let's go.
Hey everyone, welcome to BarnBridge Project Call 25. We have a number of things to kind of talk through today. Everyone's pretty heads down, gearing up for the Smart Alpha launch in a couple weeks. So to kick things off, I'll pass it over to Bogdan for any tech or dev updates.
Yep, sure. I think this is going to be one of my shortest dev updates because we've been 100% focused on Smart Alpha for the past few weeks, and we'll probably continue to do so over the following ones. There's really no reason to dilute the main event with anything else. So right now we have the app for Smart Alpha like over 99% done. I mean, just wish you could see our dev app. Everything is like almost everything is there. We're just taking our time to put everything through its paces, testing, retesting, just all the functionalities there. Pretty much what's left is going through the final UI polishes. And about the release timelines, the hope is we can have the simulator up for everyone to play with. I hope it's going to be tomorrow. The problem is we've delayed it a couple of days because we're still incorporating some feedback we have for the models. We're playing with a couple of different versions of it, tweaking some parameters to make sure like juniors and seniors have fair deals. And next up, we are going to open the app for, let's call them pre-deposits. It's going to be sometime next week. Like what this means is we're going to allow everyone to deposit, enter the deposit queues, or either the junior or the senior side, and have the first official epoch start on Monday, September the 13th, I think. So not the following Monday, the one after that. I think that's the current plan. That's hopefully how everything is going to go. So this means by the time we like not see each other, the time you guys see us on the next community call, Smart Alpha is going to be live. So that's all I have for updates. Thank you, guys.
Nice. Awesome. Thanks, Bogdan. On the operations side, nothing too pressing in terms of priorities. You know, we will remain focused on an effective launch, working with a number of different channels to get a meaningful word out around Smart Alpha. And on the BD side, conversations continue. We'll have more to share later this month, hopefully with the app live. But with that, I'll pass it over to Max to talk to some other items on the ops side.
Sure thing. So my most recent focus has kind of been on setting up, you know, for lack of a better term, kind of service providers for how we go about Smart Alpha launch. And primarily what I mean about that is I've been working with the UMA team to kind of think through how they could become like the kind of like standard provider of any rewards programs we may have for Smart Alpha in the near term. And, you know, once Smart Yield stuff is addressed, you know, that later on as well. And that's been going well. So if you haven't seen it yet, there's a forum post kind of detailing how UMA is thinking about kind of like this template implementation. And the way it would essentially work is, you know, on a pool by pool basis, there could be parallel KPI option programs going on as we, you know, maybe strike kind of like partnerships with specific communities who want to really, you know, incentivize secondary liquidity for their tokens, Smart Alpha, junior and senior pools. So that's going pretty well. And I think what we would be able to do is kind of pilot this out in the initial epochs following launch, just for kind of the, you know, Bitcoin and Ether Smart Alpha pools. So it's that we have, you know, something in practice to actually analyze, see how the program went, and essentially boil it all down to a template that we can then go to other communities with if they're interested in setting aside some of their own token to ultimately incentivize a pool that works for them, right? So that's one element. And then the other is kind of more aimed at this question of secondary liquidity for these, you know, junior and senior assets for potentially very long tail of ERC20s. And for that, I've been speaking with the Balancer team, and they're very interested in helping us essentially create a standard balancer pool type that could actually, on a weekly basis, as epochs come and go and junior dominance adjusts itself, actually re-weight themselves, such that you have a pool that is the underlying asset, the senior asset, and the junior asset, and essentially the senior and junior asset cancel each other out. So you can absorb all of the volatility from the junior side, as well as get enough secondary liquidity for senior assets to be used elsewhere, throughout DeFi without fears of illiquidity, right? And that conversation is still a bit newer, but it sounds like they're really excited at that prospect, and it's something we'll be just like trying to push as best possible over the coming week or two, and see kind of how big of a lift it is, and how we can get about kind of creating this smart alpha balancer pool template live. So those are the two things I'm most excited about, and that'll then lead into just continuing to augment our Rari Fuse pool as time goes on. And with all that said, I think kind of that's the pre-launch focus, and what we'll be able to do after launch will be going to communities and like Discord servers from here to to the ends of the earth. And we'll be able to advertise Smart Alpha both with the kind of modeler that will be on the front end, as well as the kind of like, services we'd also be able to offer through Balancer, through UMA, and so on, such that we can actually have those, fruitful types of conversations where it could actually be the case that another community votes to dedicate resources to Smart Alpha. Because, over the past month and a half, we've been doing a lot of outreach privately with teams. And, that feedback has helped us kind of polish things before launch. But ultimately, those teams can't speak for their communities, right? Like, they want to see this in action. It'll be on us to do AMAs and just general kind of educational efforts in every single community, and kind of have that be the BD focus for the months after launch, getting up as many like partner programs as we can for individual Smart Alpha pools. So that's where things sit kind of on the BD side. And I think that's it for me, Christian.
Thanks, Max. Trevor, anything you want to chat through on your side?
Nothing at the moment. Thanks, Christian.
Okay, cool. So with that, I open it up to Tyler, Malad. Anything you guys want to chat through that's pressing for this call?
I can let Malad go first. I mean,
I'm good.
I think we're all on the same page that we're all heads down on Smart Alpha. Like, it's been a long time coming, and I think everybody's excited about it. Like, Max has been banging out on like the biz dev side. So yeah, I mean, I've seen people in the community talking about like this big update is coming for BarnBridge, and like there's not a ton of buzz around it. I think I've talked about this before, like buzz is a double-edged sword. I think that we launched this, like, I think everybody's been used to the fact that we normally like to do like slow launches and kind of roll things out and make sure things work properly. So yeah, basically, I think that the hype around Smart Alpha should be on like uptick in usage and utility, and that's what we focus on. I think we lost Troy's internet, probably went out Puerto Rico.
I don't see any questions. I think with that, we're probably good to break a bit early and get back to work on this. Anything else, guys, or are we good to call it for today?
I think we're all good.
Awesome. All right. Well, thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Thanks, guys.